We got a major breaking, high-profile, trending fake news alert on Twitter right now. Assange is trending with the fake news that Donald Trump was offering Assange a pardon if Assange helped him cover up Russian collusion. It's fake. It's a lie. It's a smear campaign, and I have no idea what's going on or why, because it's really strange. The media is claiming this, that Trump wanted Assange. I'll just read it for you. Trump offered to pardon Assange if he covered up Russian interference in U.S. election, court told. No, that's not what they were told. First, according to the lawyers from WikiLeaks, actually, I'll read this for you. But it's better if I just read it, and then I'm going to show you why it's fake news. I have proof. They're trying to smear Trump. They're claiming it's going to hurt his re-election campaign because he's colluding with WikiLeaks or whatever. WikiLeaks has always asserted Russia was not involved. This makes no sense. And I have proof. Independent reports. Trump offered to pardon Assange if he covered up Russian interference in U.S. election. WikiLeaks founder allegedly has evidence of visit from Republican congressman to Ecuadorian embassy on president's behalf. Donald Trump offered to pardon Julian Assange if he covered up Russia's interference in the 2016 U.S. election, a court heard. The explosive claim, which could have profound consequences for Mr. Trump's re-election effort if proven true, emerged as Assange, 48, appeared at Westminster's Magistrates Court ahead of a hearing next week about his possible extradition to the U.S. Assange's barrister highlighted evidence alleging former U.S. Republican Congressman Dana Rohrabacher, I think is how you pronounce it, had been to see Assange in the Ecuadorian embassy in August 2017 in the early days of Robert Mueller's probe into Russian interference in the previous election. Edward Fitzgerald QC said a statement from Assange's lawyer, Jennifer Robinson, shows, quote, Mr. Rohrabacher going to see Mr. Assange and saying, on instructions from the president, he was offering a pardon or some other way out if Mr. Assange, ... said Russia had nothing to do with the DNC leaks. You know what those 3 dots mean? It means they skipped over a large segment of what was actually said. So, is the headline of this story and the major national trend too? 100% no. They said Russia had nothing to do with the DNC leaks. This story is completely false. Even that quote is false, and we don't even know what was stripped out of it. This is one of the most egregious smear campaigns I've seen in a long time. But rest assured, if you're a Trump supporter, I hope you're ready for all of these insane smears to come out in ridiculous fashion. Julian Assange has always maintained in the DNC email leaks, his source was not Russian. In fact, people close to WikiLeaks said, one guy said that, I think, it's been a long time, he actually met with someone to receive, a USB drive or something to that effect. But this was always disregarded by the media. So now, I'll tell you what, man, if there is anything that gets me mad is the media lying. They are lying. These are despicable, scummy people. First, they assert it's a fact that Russia provided WikiLeaks with this information. At least that's what the FBI concluded. The same FBI that launched the investigation into Trump during his campaign election, which Democrats assert should be abuse of power. I don't trust them at all. They claim that Russia actually was the one who did this hack. Perhaps that could be the case. It could be the case that Julian Assange didn't realize it was Russia that did the hack and then fed it to him. But why would it make sense? In fact, it doesn't. That Trump would ask Assange to say what Assange already said. Now, the way they frame it is the most disgusting thing. If he covered up the interference, why would Trump ask Assange to cover it up by claiming Russia wasn't involved when Assange had already claimed he wasn't involved? It's a lie. A series of emails embarrassing for the Democrats in the Hillary Clinton presidential campaign were hacked before being published by WikiLeaks in 2016. Quote, it sure sounds like Assange's attorneys are prepared to back up this claim with evidence, said Ned Price, a former CIA official who served as special advisor to Barack Obama. It's another indication that Trump's assault on the rule of law isn't new. It's been ongoing throughout his term, and imagine just how we don't know yet. District Judge Vanessa Baraitser said the evidence would be admissible during the next week's extradition hearing. Assange is wanted in America to face 18 charges, including conspiring to commit computer intrusion over the publication of U.S. cables a decade ago. He could face up to 175 years in jail if found guilty. Just wait, I actually do have another story for you. He is accused of working with former U.S. Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning to leak hundreds of thousands of classified documents. The extradition hearing is due to begin at Woolwich Crown Court on Monday, beginning with a week of legal argument. It will then be adjourned and continue with 3 weeks of evidence scheduled to begin on May 18th. Copy editor, guys. The decision, which is expected months later, is likely to be appealed against by the losing side, whatever the outcome. Assange has been held on remand in Belmarsh prison since last September after serving a 50-week jail sentence for breaching his bail conditions while he was in the Ecuadorian embassy in London. He entered the building in 2012 to avoid extradition to Sweden over sex offense allegations, which he has always denied and were subsequently dropped. They say he appeared in court on Wednesday by video link from Belmarsh prison, wearing a dark tracksuit, bottoms, and a brown jumper over a white shirt. He spoke to confirm his name and date of birth and sat holding a stack of papers during the hearing. The hearing came after the Australian MPs George Christensen and Andrew Wilkie called on Tuesday for Boris Johnson to intervene and stop the extradition hearing. Shadow Chancellor John McDonnell is expected to become the first British MP to see Assange behind bars in a visit to Belmarsh on Thursday. At a press conference on Tuesday, it emerged that fellow inmates at the high-security prison successfully lobbied for his release from solitary confinement. Jeez. Speaking after the press conference, Assange's father, John Shipton, said his son's condition had improved, but said the extradition going ahead would be akin to a death sentence. You want to know what really happened? Because here's the story from CBS Los Angeles, CBS 2. It's a video. I'm not going to play for the most part, but it reads, from 3 years ago, OC Congressman suggests WikiLeaks founder can help make Trump-Russia investigation go away. Why, that sounds like the Independent story is actually true. Guess what Donald Trump wanted from Julian Assange? Did he want Julian Assange to cover up Russian interference? No. In this video, Rohrabacher says Julian Assange basically needs to squeal on his source. And if he does, Trump will cut him a deal. Let me make it clear for you guys. This was a standard leniency option that anyone would receive if they rat on their sources or their co-conspirators or whatever. Donald Trump wanted to know who the real source was. You know why? Because if Julian Assange announces who the actual source is for the emails, it could disprove the Russia investigation. Not that he wants him to cover it up. But of course, the machine has been, the system has been rigged from the start. They're going to frame it by asking Assange. This is a story from 3 years ago where they actually interviewed Dana Rohrabacher. And he said that we want to know who the source was. It's essentially what he said. Julian Assange has never revealed the identity of a source and refuses to, but he has maintained Russia had no involvement. Trump is trying to shake down WikiLeaks. I don't agree with it. Julian Assange should not be extradited. He should not be charged over this. I don't trust it at all. But I see what Donald Trump is doing, and it seems like standard criminal justice prosecutorial negotiation. We will let you go if you give up the people who worked with you. They want to know how he got those emails. You know why? If somebody hacked those emails, a crime was committed, and they want to know who committed it. The FBI has concluded it was Russia. Trump wants the evidence. He could come out right now and say it was Russia. But Assange has maintained it wasn't. So naturally, the Trump administration and his DOJ are saying, then who was it? If you're going to deny it, Assange won't release it. So you know what? It's entirely possible it was Russia. I'll throw some shade at WikiLeaks because when the Seth Rich thing happened, they absolutely, Assange himself played it up like it was the source, like there was no hack, like it really was Seth Rich. Please. There's a line, and you absolutely could come out and give us some evidence to discredit the Russia stuff without naming names. Or perhaps at this point, considering the sheer turmoil and chaos that's ensued in this country and in the UK and in your life, you would at least say something is true or isn't. That's why I don't believe him. Well, I shouldn't say I don't believe him, but I believe Assange was saying some of these things to try and throw, to make it seem like Seth Rich was involved, spawning all these conspiracy theories. I'm not interested. Do you have evidence? If not, then chill out and stop saying it. But I'll tell you this, what we're seeing is another major smear, and people are going to believe it. I cannot stand the media, man. I want to swear really, really bad because these people disgust me. The story is not true. And not only is it not true, the actual basis is 3 years old. It is not a bombshell. It is not a major breaking story. It is old news. Nothing new happened. Trump is trying to get evidence from Assange, and Assange wouldn't give it up. So bravo to Assange for not squealing on your sources. And Trump tried to get him to do it, and he wouldn't. And now it's being held against Trump. You know what? No matter what Trump does, they will always frame it in the worst possible light. There's no cover up. They just want evidence. Well, I'm glad Assange is going to defend his sources, but I'm over it. Whatever, man. I'll leave it there. Don't be surprised when more comes out. It's going to get bad for Trump. They're going to keep doing this. I'll see you all in the next segment coming up in a few minutes.